Niels Harbor's fan, we are drawing to a close in terms of videos. A few more pics and I am done with the video shoots and descriptions and explanations. This is set to 60065. I stole the gentleman who was riding the bike for security personnel at the movie studio, but I did in fact keep it as a little ranger bike in case I wanted to do some sort of rescue or forest fire in one of the national forests, and I wanted to build a scene where rangers, forest rangers, and forestry personnel who took care of the national parks, took care of the tourists, were working in conjunction with the fire department and the police department and municipal fire departments as a major section of guidance lost acres and acres of forest. I did not have acres and acres of room. I did not have oodles and oodles of time, and I certainly just could not fit it all in. But again, when I pre-built for Niels Harbor, I made sure that I covered every possible story angle, and I did the ones that I could. So the sets that you never saw were these ones. These were the Ranger Service. They were slightly off scale, but they're just fun sets. This is actually from set 60007, and it was just a police set. But I thought it looked a lot like a forestry vehicle. It had the same kind of color scheme as in a later set that came out later. Again, a police bike from 6007. And you're sort of thinking to yourself, well, I don't understand. What do you mean police? Isn't this your representation of a ranger vehicle? Well, I'll explain that in a minute, but that police bike was sort of part of the ranger setup because the ranger station itself was, as you can see, partially controlled by regional police and partially controlled by the rangers themselves because they would have had to coordinate. And you can see the little police sign up there. They would have needed to coordinate with each other in terms of law enforcement. So the idea that this ranger station was out in the park doing its job, being a small little headquarters with minimal equipment, and a lot of the smaller police stations that would have been sort of like in Niels Harbor, this would have been a lot of like the setup of a police station out at Merrill Beach. The idea there just being a little office, a little jail cell, a place to have some coffee and another office maybe for the rangers, but also a place for sort of storage and that kind of thing. So I like the idea of there being these little substations or sub-police stations, and in this case it's strictly a national ranger station. And of course, it takes care of provincial parks and federal parks and that kind of thing. And of course, also, there's a very small police contingent that is a liaison and an office that if there's any real trouble, they bring in reinforcements from the regional police stations, just like the one that was in Niels Harbor, but they would need a different vehicle. So what I did was I took a vehicle from set 60069, which was the sort of the base of this entire building is from, and this was the vehicle from 60069, and I made a little Ranger Jeep, and I made this to be a Humvee open terrain Jeep vehicle. This was in really rough hill country, and so you kind of had the two Ranger vehicles there from different sets, and I did a little bit of modification on lights and decals, and I made sure that each of them had a sort of a different number, and maybe there'd be even a little Ranger motorbike, though I really didn't see the sense of that, but I built it just in case. But as you can see, this is the regional police colors. And what is this? Well, this is part of the build, 60069. It's the exact same vehicle. It's this vehicle right here, and I just made it into a regional police vehicle, the decals and so forth and so on. You can even see there's a couple policemen in there. And I'm going to just have a quick look down there, see how they're doing. They seem to be doing okay. And put little equipment in the back that would be police equipment. And of course, I put some more forestry stuff in the back for the rangers, so more geared toward preventing fires or sort of keeping things well, let's see what they got. They got a fire extinguisher. They got a shovel. You know, there's of course nationally, there's a firearm, there's an axe. It would depend on what the mission of the vehicle was, but the things that were more akin to sort of ranger vehicles, and you know, guidance poles that you have there that they might need. And as you can see, the police bike that comes from the other set, 07, that would be the police bike that was part of that regional setup and could be used to represent that. But the colors weren't quite right. And I never get a chance to really do a scenario with all this stuff. But again, hopeless as I was, I found a set that I liked. I had to build it. And I did some modifications to this set, as you can see, so that, you know, you've got the ranger side of things, you got the police side of things, and you got all your little rangers out here smiling at you. And oh, and of course, the last part about that, of course, is one of the ranger vehicles would be a boat. Obviously, there would be ranger stations near water, near lakes, maybe even the idea of it being near larger bodies of water, the ocean that might have surrounded the island, but more likely that would have been a lake boat. Basically a rescue vehicle for all intents and purposes, making sure people's licenses were up to par, handing out fines and that kind of thing. But I always liked the idea of that, there being the rangers being enforcement and also being forest protectors and wildlife protectors, and a very interesting job, a very interesting set of emergency stuff, and stolen from different eras and different possible police forces. And Legos did several different dozens of themes on police forces. I liked this one and never got to use it, so that's not even Neil's Harbor story, I guess, is it? That's okay though, because I don't have any more stories, and I don't have any more background, and don't have any more sets that would be of any relevance. Anything else that you saw in the videos, dump trucks, planes. Usually the number was reasonably clear on the set, or it wouldn't take you long to find it. And in the computer age, you don't need me sitting there going, this is set 4209. You'll just look at it, look it up in a series of images and go, oh, that's the one he used. But, you know, oh, there was one small little extra that I forgot all about. And I'm going to go get that right now. I forgot all about that guy. There was one little thing that joined some of the parks and some of the islands and some of the communities. Are called cable ferries, and they're used from my home province. I'm even going to scan over to you. I'm even going to take you with me all into the debris that was once Neil's Harbor. And I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to bring that over, and I'm going to make special note of it, because again, this called back to my home province. Cable ferries, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a rescue with the Coast Guard, and we'll have a couple cable ferries crash or be all stranded and messed up. And that, of course, is this set, BD6011, and yeah, just a fun set, just great. I love this set. This is in its original form. I actually made a mock build-up where this area in the back here was more built up and more akin to some of the things that, you know, I had used or had seen when I was a kid. But again, love the set, had to get it. Used to work in armored cars long ago, so I built my own out of one of the prisoner transport sets from long ago. And you know, I built little doors and all that sort of stuff, little safes, little windows and stuff. And that was just, again, me putting myself into the realism of the videos. And when we toured down the city streets at one point, you see the armored car delivering and picking up packages and so forth. Now that really is it. There's nothing more that I can put on video that you couldn't figure out on your own, or from sets on your own. So it came from town sets, it came from city sets, all the different paraphernalia, the tow trucks and the construction stuff. And I'll be taking some pictures of the construction stuff just to say these were the sets I used, but they were all straight sets. Nothing in terms of modification or reasoning behind it. And it was actually not even a set that I would have considered hadn't been for the input of, again, my significant other, who, without her support, these videos could not have been done, and my story could not have been told. And I guess it's all finished. And I'll be glad when it is, because it was a lot of hard work. But I'll be a little sad too, because it'll be a memory on videos and pictures. That's it, folks. See you in no more videos. Bye-bye from Neil's Harbor and the supplemental videos.